Hey YouTubers, I'm back. I want to give my full overview of OxyElitePro. My overall experience, I would definitely say, was good. Um, a couple of things that I want to point out that I did was I had I cleaned up my diet some. It wasn't too terribly bad to begin with. There was some pounds that I could not get past. I had lost some weight before prior to taking it, but I also want to make you aware that those were kind of like extra pounds. Generally speaking, I could not get the scale to move past 151 no matter what I did. And I want to say I got up to 160 at some point and then got back to 151, which is the point, pretty much I don't move past. In taking OxyElitePro, I have come down to approximately 143, 144, depending on the day. Um, like I said, it was overall a good experience. Be warned, watch other people's videos and reviews. For me personally, the way I reacted to taking that third pill at first had me feeling like I was Superwoman. I mean, I went running and I go about two and a half, let me rephrase, I go about 5 miles every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And the day that I took it, I was off the charts. Yeah, I was zooming. You could have called me Superwoman and I was gone. I was track star, in my head, and that was super crazy. And I will say this, that was the only day that I had that much energy, that much drive, I guess you could say. Like I was gone. Like you couldn't tell me nothing. Um, like I said, it had me feeling pretty good. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I would gather that maybe I would have lost more weight if I would have drank more water. That's always been a little bit of an issue with me. And so that is something to take into consideration. Also, I want to tell you guys that are maybe feeling discouraged by it and saying it's not working for me, I definitely want to say hang in there. It took about maybe 2 to 3 weeks, and if you've been following my weight loss, it took about 2 to 3 weeks to actually see the scale move. Now, it moved of a point of a percentage. I think we were at maybe the starting weight was somewhere about 150.8, something like that, or maybe the first week on OxyElitePro was like I said, it was like 150.8, and then like the next week it was 150.6. And you're like, okay, well, I'm doing what I need to do. Why isn't this doing anything? And I think it took maybe week 3 or week 4 for like the at least for me to steadily be losing about a pound a week. Um, for some people, yeah, it's slow going. I wasn't happy about that, but at the same time, you don't want to be losing weight so fast that your body can't keep up with it either. And in the long term, you want it to definitely be something that you can maintain. Um, as far as food consumption goes, I kind of worked myself into a ritual of sorts, and I've been trying to relatively stay close to it now that I am off the OxyElitePro for my required 4 weeks, and I'm only like about a week and a half in. Next Tuesday will make it 2 weeks, so I have a ways to go. I personally didn't really feel like it was addictive. Uh, it did give me energy. Also, I do want to note that I did not take the pills as prescribed, in the sense that you do two. Well, when you get into the rhythm of it, you're taking two and then one a few hours later. It got to the point, especially in the beginning of increasing, it was kind of like I went back and forth with it, because at times I kind of felt like it was too much. It was just too much for my body to handle, or it was just too much for me to deal with. So I ended up scaling to just like 2 a day, 2 in the morning, and rock it out the rest of the day. But I did not do that the whole time. And then it also kind of came down to, okay, how do I want to use the rest of my pills when I have a little bit of time left? And I went with doing, 2 pills on the days that I'm working out, and like a Saturday, Sunday type deal, I was just taking 1. In the beginning, I started to have feelings of maybe nausea, an upset stomach of sorts, but you do your homework. You got to eat. I feel like you may still have that feeling, but you want to ride it out and be eating and drinking your water, especially if this is your very first time ever taking this. I cannot stress that enough, is make sure that you are following instructions, especially that line up. Like if people keep saying you really need to eat, you really need to eat, and I'm advocating that you eat, most definitely. For me, some people said they didn't eat cookies or whatever, but what was really cool while I was on the OxyElitePro is Quaker oats, instead of just doing the oatmeal, which if you watch my previous videos from like the beginning, like you see my bowl of oatmeal the first day or whatever. They have cookies. They have oatmeal cookies that are low cal. They have like 3-4 different flavors. And pretty much my ritual would be I'd go for my run. I'd come back. I'd do another workout, the Jillian Michaels 30-day shred. I'd have my silk milk and various flavors, like whether it be like the almond or the coconut vanilla. I don't do plain. I have about an 8-ounce glass of that, an omega-3, and a banana, and then my cookie. And the cookie doesn't always come like back to back after that, but it's just like a little nice thing that I did. You're gonna find this crazy, but kind of in between the workout and before having all these things to eat, because a lot of people felt like they lost their appetite. My appetite was kind of low to begin with most of the time. Like I may have been more so one of those, when it starts to get dark, I start to get hungry. But I would definitely say there was some suppression action going on. I think I notice it more now that I'm coming off of it. Also, as I was saying, like in between, like when I get back from my run, I generally have Gatorade or a couple, like some sips of it in between my workout. And then after that, like I said, I'd down my cup of silk milk. It's got the protein and it's low cal, and it tastes pretty good. Before that, I was actually doing like the whey protein drink, and hey, you're welcome to do that. I did that in the beginning, just I didn't have any more whey protein around, so you do what you got to do. You make do. I recommend having a fruit that you like, that you can stomach. For me, it was bananas. It got a little funky when they started to get a little mushy, but nice firm banana. Like it's quick, it's easy, it's something you can do. You're putting the nutrients back into your system. All right, real quick, I will go over the cons. Like I said, there is a slight nauseating feeling. Some people don't experience that. I maybe had a headache once or twice, and I cannot 100% attribute it to the OxyElitePro, but let's say we did. It was just once or twice. Let's see. Definitely coming off of the pills, I have had like a degradation in workout, and I noticed that as time went by. It feels like, and I don't know if anybody else can back me up on this, but my workout, I wasn't able to do my workout quite like I was in the beginning. Like in the beginning, like I said, I went through the superwoman phase, but once that passed, it was more or less, I could do my workout. I felt like I was kicking ass. It was all good. And then it got to the point to where it became, a struggle. Like where I could run like nobody's business the distance, it's a struggle now. I can honestly say that. So there's some loss. I don't even know if to call it like loss of intensity, but just it something seems to it just degraded the system somewhat. So like even going, like I said, trying to run, going to the gym, like trying to do your sets, it's like I can't do it. Um, Definitely a little bit more tired. But you know what? I don't necessarily want to say more tired. Maybe it's getting back to where I was at before the OxyElitePro, because anybody knows that's taking it. Depending on who you are and how your body works, it's more of an awake feeling, like you get up like that and like, let's go knock this workout out. I can still do that now. It takes a little bit more energy. That was kind of where the boost would come in the mornings for me. It was just a little bit more amped up. Like instead of maybe laying there for like a couple more minutes, it's like, all right, let's just go. Um, Also, kind of coming off of it, I have noticed, and this could just be me, I have had, well, let me clarify. During the time in which I took Oxy Elite Pro, I did not necessarily exclude anything from my diet. I was more conscious of what I was eating. Um, so I did not eat, let's say, like bread or like pastas, things like that, a whole lot during this time. And I'm finding that now that I'm off of it, it's like voracious appetite. Like I had some cookies in the house that were not, my Quaker Oat cookies that I just gorged on. And I was like, oh my God, this has got to stop. So, I mean, I think what happens too is when you're coming off of it and you're used to having that help, it's very much so more helpful, like to give in to some cravings, but not to all. Like I said, for me right now, it just seems to be like pastas and breads, and you're like, God, I just lost this weight. I don't want to gain it back. Um, so I try to still definitely be mindful of what I'm doing. I've seen some suggestions on what to do, like in the interim between when you wait or whatever, because I'm one of those people, like I said, I had gone to towards the end about, I think maybe I ended on like a Tuesday, something to that effect. So it would have been like Saturday, Sunday, I just had a pill and then followed up with the two pills and then went cold turkey, like nothing. And maybe there are people that have found a better way to not necessarily ease off, but have something to like phase yourself into, like to the next. I've heard about Recreate. I mean, I don't know if that's a product for me. I think it maybe has less stimulant or whatever. But we'll just have to kind of wait and see. Overall, I know I've let this run way too long, but bottom line is I believe that I will take my break. I would probably like to do this one or two more times, and after that, I think I will reach my goal weight. And for me, it's not so much a goal weight anymore after having taken this. I will definitely say sometimes your expectations are what's on the scale, but I can definitely say that it has helped change the shape of my body. Also keeping in mind, it's not just the pills, because you got to work out. Like you've got to be moving your body. So I will say that, doing that and having that extra boost, it has definitely reshaped my body in some areas that I'm really happy about. But there's still some work to be done, and I can only guesstimate what that's going to take. I say maybe a cycle to two more cycles, and I think that that looks like somewhere between, I'm at 143 now, and only assuming that I would either lose the same or if more, I would like, I guess at bare minimum next cycle to come in at 135, and then maybe cycle off and go back again and get to 125, and that would be it. I'm not meant to be like stick figure girl, and I don't necessarily want to be. I think that I would be happy if I get to where I'm a solid 4 to 6, type deal. But I will say this, like the most awesome thing that you can do for yourself, seriously, is relegate what you wear. Try to wear like, you can wear something tight, but like workout pants and that kind of thing. But wear loose fitting clothing and kind of don't touch the stuff that's been snug for a while, because I did that. I put on a few suits and I was like, oh my God, I lost so much weight. I've actually got some room in here. So that's going to be kind of the drawback, but sometimes that's a happy problem, is your clothes don't fit because you've lost too much weight. And that's something that I'm keeping in mind as well, because yeah, I have to get a whole new wardrobe. But anyway, if you have any questions, put them down there and let me know. I'll tell you about my experience. I am so sorry that this like took forever, but I want to be accurate. And like I said, this is my total overall experience. I may update again on whenever I start, or just even go into a little bit more detail of what I'm doing while I'm off the OxyElitePro. Thank you guys for the support, for watching my videos. I appreciate it. Don't give up. Remember to keep working out. And the thing that I keep telling myself in my head is, you know, you got to move if you want to see change. And sometimes it takes us a while for that to click, but you can do it. So good luck, you guys.